Oh.
And Dawn is popping in a little later. Hello, Internet.
Hi, Internet.
Oh.
Well, hey there, whoa there.
What was that?
That was the sound of realizing that the controller was not plugged into the computer.
I see.
And running to get the controller.
We're coming.
We thought we were prepared. We were not.
All right. I'm going to flip a D6 to see who I do for the hosting this evening. All right, that's Jordan this week. All right. Also, I think I hosted Phil last time, so it was probably just smarter to go back and forth.
I couldn't tell you.
I feel like we have to double check our on the stream that we actually have like notifications popping up, because there have not been any notifications.
Yeah, my like host notifications and stuff haven't really been working either. And I haven't quite figured out why.
Go. Yep.
Apparently time to fry an egg boy.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Oh, hey, Caroline, you get to voice somebody for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
It's been 1,000 years.
I don't even remember what she sounds like. I think
she's,
I sort of do.
She's not speaking just yet, so it's fine.
No, I know.
Just profoundly Cockney, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, Gina, how are you holding up? Starting to feel quite warmly towards your frequent cold shoulders now.
Ginny! Are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything?
You get to voice this character.
Yeah, you might. Hey, there we go.
What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me?
What?
Well, you saw it. That picture.
What picture?
Ah, you mean this. The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder. Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure.
No, I really doubt she is feeling cooperative today.
Yeah. Something tells me.
It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that is going to think I did it, ain't they?
Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court.
Surely you got to have your doubts about me now. You still can't think I'm innocent.
Of course I can.
Ginny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night.
Oh?
Bruno's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still. We'd really like to hear it from you.
Cooperative?
What? What was that?
Cooperative? Maybe
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
be
maybe.
Oh, we actually get a timeline.
Alright, here we go.
Alright.
It was after we had that dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we had a chat up in your office, didn't we?
Yes, I remember.
After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped out and went down to the street to the 221, the Winterbank's place. I had to know.
If Iris's story was there or not. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like. Something what he don't want people reading. So that's why he lied to Iris about sticking it in lug with Winterbank for safekeeping.
There's a lot of Cockney.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought at the time.
So you broke into Winterbank's.
I had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all that was going to kick off, did I?
Yeah?
I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you like in there. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of a wick, and that's when... I nearly died, I did. And the next thing I knew... I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like, I don't know what.
Oh, it was Dom who did this last time.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, this time the part will be played by Corbin doing that noise.
I think this is...
I think that's her.
this is... Yeah. The metal script. Have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? A story?
Okay, now I guess I'll do real Winterbank.
Only if you want to.
I beg your pardon.
The under the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it.
I'm sorry, young lady. But I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers.
I don't want it. What would I do with it anyway? I want to see if it's here, that's all.
Oh, you want to see it, do you?
I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go.
Ellipses. Oh, yeah, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you?
Storeroom door, and we both went inside. And it was there, alright, the mantle script. Sholmes weren't lying after all.
You did all that just to check for me, Jenny?
Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop.
The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yes. Wow.
What was that noise? Someone's breaking in.
Oh dear, it sounds like the Wario and Waluigi have appeared. Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about?
I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry.
I'd better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back?
Oh, well, I'll come with you and...
Now, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances.
And he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom, like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help, see? So I was just about to go out in the storeroom myself when... Bang, bang, he shot me down.
You know, technically this means I got shot twice now.
I heard a couple of shots go off, too, I think, almost at the same time.
Well, now you're beating Phil.
And then there he was, right at my feet, lying face down on the floor.
I guess Phil didn't get shot. He got his head caved in.
Legend. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Blunt force trauma. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it as quick as you like.
Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Winterbank might come for you.
Yeah. So I went to grab Oak Cove's gun. Figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Bank was a goner.
Egg.
Felt funny in my head all of a sudden, kinda dizzy.
Hmm.
And after that, I don't remember nothing.
Uh-huh. Fainted.
That must have been when you passed out, Gina.
If I hadn't done what I'd done, the old cove might still be alive.
Did you tell the police everything you just told us?
Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was, if I keep telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me.
Hmm. You'll be alright, Ginny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit through the mill.
I will turn him into fine flour.
Yes.
That
Perfect.
poet was there in the afternoon. That Edgar Benedict.
Yep.
To remember how he looked at me like I was nothing. He was there that night.
We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty.
You what? You what, mate?
You can leave it all in Bruno's capable hands now, Ginny.
I will be shocked if there isn't a you what mate somewhere in this. It's what the writers would do.
It's what the writers would want. Mr. Nara Odo.
Yes, I presume you mean me.
That's close to my name.
How come you trust me? I don't get it.
I think we've had something like an LOLO. I think. I'm not
Me?
sure.
I don't even remember at this point.
I'm sure we've had a what's all this then.
Yeah, I think from the detective.
Well, yeah, from Gregson. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago.
Yeah, I can actually hear what's this then in Corbin's voice. So I think it had to have happened.
Me and McGill did. We told you all pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with him, even though he was the killer.
No, I could never forget that.
Oh,
I did what I thought was best at the time. But the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget, I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end no matter what.
but what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know.
I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial.
You were?
Twice, technically.
What, mate?
I didn't go to trial the second time.
No, that's true.
I was about to say.
That's
Never
true.
arrested. Didn't happen. Maritime law. Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure no one would believe it if no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it. That sentence really was hard to chew on.
Oh, Bruno.
Hello.
Hey, Dom.
There's a
And,
Never.
We finally got Gina's side of the story.
Finally.
Oh yeah.
she
Gina
is
finally
being cooperative.
confessed.
She's finally talking to us.
Cool. She's accepted that we're her friend and not her foe.
Somewhat, at least, yeah.
She has casually told us the conclusion that Eggert was there, which took us an entire trial to figure out, and
Yes,
future
well.
blood magic to do.
Yes, well, you know how it is with clients that don't trust you.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait till we do 1-4.
Oh boy.
But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. My best friend.
Oh,
No!
not the song.
Remember?
Rinosuke,
Remember, Simba.
no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me and I'll do the rest.
Then I'll trip on a cat and die.
Don't forget who you are. I was so happy I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute, unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute, unwavering belief in him.
Believe in me who believes in you.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I came to realize that I've never seen you do an A pose before.
Yeah, this
If you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first.
What are you saying?
I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down.
Even though I'm a diver and a no-good liar.
You're not like McGilded, I know that.
Eh?
That's right. You're a friend, Ginny.
Oh, Chris.
I forgot you were here.
We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust.
Yes.
That's really all we need to know.
Exactly.
Being a very good hype man right now. Appreciate it.
Mr. Naruto, I...
Oh.
God.
Someone be the bailiff.
No, I'll do it. Defend Gina Lestrade and her legal representative.
I just want bailiff to be whoever speaks up with the funny voice fastest.
Yes.
Court proceeding is about to resume. Please head to court
Oh my
immediately.
Why is the bailiff a gremlin?
Oh my god.
I just wanted to be funny for a second.
I mean, you pulled it off.
Yes, of course. Thank you, you strange man who I think might be an alien.
It was an accident. Got it in the war.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
the tentacles coming out of your collar are an accident.
No, it's an accident. You're seeing them.
And if you tell anybody, you're gonna have an accident. I'd been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time. So I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. Is it at last, the final chapter, the final battle? Wish me luck, Suzato-san, and I hope you're watching over me too, partner.
Oh my god. Don't be so sentimental.
And now to confirm with the person who's played the game. We're still
What?
probably 2 sessions from actually finishing it, right?
It depends on how much pace we keep, but it's possible, yeah.
All right. If y'all can call out like when
I'll tell
we're
you this.
approaching, like, midpoint.
I'll tell you
Between
this,
here and the
the
end?
credits... Yeah, the midpoint will have to be found because the credits and the epilogue are a sizable chunk.
Hmm.
So yeah, probably 2 sessions just because of the credits.
Got it.
All right. So we'll probably end somewhere right before the end of the courtroom section. If I had to guess.
We'll find out.
Appreciate that as Judge and Santa. Santa has an early bedtime. Anywho, I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord on Seeks, you vampire fuck. Have you successfully subpoenaed the witness?
The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem.
Oh, shit! I see. And let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson, Precies of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector.
Hmm?
Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in Santa's courtroom.
It's a big mistake to cross early and me. A very big mistake.
Little girl, are you threatening Santa Claus?
My lord.
Oh, God.
Good. My extraterrestrial bailiff has arrived.
Is he slobbering all over the counter?
There's been a witness. It's just arrived in the building.
Oh, good. Go and grab him and try not to scare him off with your tentacles and whatnot. Thank you, officer. Show him to stand without delay.
Mr. Eggert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths again with him so soon. I added the word again, and certainly not like this.
Oh. There he is.
Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena at such short notice. Oh,
Caroline,
We're
do you
used
want to
to
take
being
Eggert?
I don't remember.
I can take Eggert.
Just so you have someone to voice, because I doubt Gina's going to be speaking much.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's fair.
But of course, my lord, as an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige.
Perfect.
It's somehow ever so slightly more masculine than Miranda, but only slightly.
Only slightly.
now kindly state your name and occupation for the record.
Grade.
Hey, real name.
Communications officer.
Ash Gray, huh? Is this a real name?
No, that's
Oh
the
God,
name
this
juror
is me.
number 5 knows.
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London's Central Communication Station. And now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all of this is about.
You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume.
Yes, I was. Something to do with the murder that took place at the pawnbrokers on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question.
That is the accusation indeed.
Really beyond a joke, you know.
Very well, without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
I can't believe I have to repeat this.
Every single time, because all you fuckers be lying to Santa.
Gladly, my lord, gladly.
And don't do that again, please.
Do not like my modern dance. It's interpretive.
Santa's not a fan of gesticulation.
I don't think I can handle doing the voice again for the little brother, so I hope they shut up. I don't remember how much they talk.
It's all good.
I got you covered, Dom. I wanted to do a Wario anyway.
Okay, you take him.
I'll
I'll take the inspector if you
All
want.
right, we'll swap then.
Naturally, I have occasion to make use of a pawnbroking service from time to
Oh
time.
my god.
But as you seriously suggesting, I colluded with these things, with these thugs, not things, to break into the place of the night of
These
murder.
creatures over here.
I have no intention of admitting such an outrageous accusation. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some Scaramouche detective's homebrew tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence.
I've been called some things in my day. Scaramouche is a new.
Careful there, man. Iris is gonna murder you.
Yes, well.
She had already threatened to shoot the judge at some point.
Yep, that which I'm nonplussed about, I want to point out. Anyway, so you deny the accusation completely, do you?
I must say, I am dismayed. Will the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy?
It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld.
Seeing we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today.
Oh, you're definitely making friends already, my friend.
By golly!
How long am I expected to be detained here?
You're following the defense's cross-examination. Your involvement in this matter has not been established. You will be free to leave immediately. However, you have definitely royally pissed off the jury already.
Good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least.
Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. To proceed with your cross-examination.
Is that sarcasm?
Oh, Santa can't be sarcastic.
So we meet again, Dr. Eggman. Or is it Mr. Graydon?
Yeah.
My apologies. You are...
Straight up pretending to never have met you.
Grunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met.
If you say so. Ashley Graydon. Enchanté. So,
What?
Ah!
I trust we can conclude this quickly.
But I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do.
Put it on. Wear it.
Wear the hat,
My flashy
Ryunosuke.
hat now. That's back to him, he's just wearing the hat.
Come on now, bitch.
All right. Time for some talking.
Damn it.
Yes. We even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Eggert Benedict, I believe.
Objection!
The witness is here to testify about events that took place that night. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions.
Can't be serious.
I'm always serious.
Right, that is right. Buddy's right, defense.
Thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question.
I feel like the fact that he pulled out a gun in the establishment earlier that day does make it relevant.
Yeah.
So he's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort not to give anything away. This could be tricky.
Hold it!
Hell yeah. Have you seen these two men before?
This pear and this apple? No, I don't associate with criminals.
Said by a man who introduced himself as Eggert Benedict.
I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me?
The young lawyer there in the black.
I told you not to do that, damn it!
Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Well, needless to say.
That would be Chief Justice Strongheart.
You got a problem with Chief Justice Strongheart's ruling here?
Yeah.
And break you. Like in half. Very
Yeah.
easily.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
man,
Strong's even in his name.
Mm.
where were you around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir?
That is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions.
You're able to prove that.
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nepalese friend. For you appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point.
What do you mean?
The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion.
Is that how law works?
It's
Will
true,
fulfill-
witnesses don't have to prove what they're saying.
You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness.
That was worse.
Oh my god.
A silent victory with thanks.
It is for death, yes.
Holy shit. This guy.
Hold it!
Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Sholm's chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such.
No, hang on, defense. I said you couldn't use that.
But I'm not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can you be sure that the blood is mine? It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants.
Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholm's chemical is able to...
Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character anyway?
Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a great, he's a renowned detective.
So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective.
A great detective. did you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we?
Oh,
Excuse me.
Well, Luigi has something to say.
Hmm.
what to say about that, Mr. Skulkin?
What? Me?
Pretty good.
No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you.
Oh, thank God.
Right, I've had it up to here with this. How many times have I got to tell you?
Yes, I know, you're not Big Bruv Skulky.
Sulky.
Sulky Skulkin is so hard.
That's
Mr. Nash Skulkin.
up, Ouija.
Eh? Or blimey, you what? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind?
I thought a single thought went through that empty mind of yours.
It was very noticeable. You can't deny it. Would you care to share that singular thought with me? Eh? Me thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him.
That empty over here.
Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke? Nothing. Honest, Gov. Nothing. I was just thinking. If he waves his arms around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, is all. What wound?
Dumb and Dumber.
Mary took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worrying for him and... Oh, L's bills.
Why are you eating?
Nice.
Mr. Graydon, did you hear that?
No, I'm deaf. What?
Hang on.
In this post before an ace attorney,
Yes.
your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm.
My lord.
Yes, Mr. Graydon.
I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations.
Why you grabbing at your arm then, eh, bud?
We know someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir. The left arm you're currently clasping with your right hand as if in pain.
No, I refuse. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved.
Boy. Goddamn
Wow.
Magna Carta. You claim to have had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery.
My lord, the defense would like the last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's?
Yeah.
Mr. Graymon's formal testimony.
Come on.
Oh, it's one of them Digimon, huh? Very well, counsel.
There's our weak spot.
Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
I feel like there's like a radar or telecommunications joke somewhere in his name, but I can't figure it out. Too smooth-brained for that.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's just ash gray. Like the color.
Yeah, I mean, that's what stood out to me immediately.
That one, but Grey Dawn just sounds weird. They could have said Grayson.
Yeah.
Grayson, yeah.
Never had anything to do with it. You forget that I was there, Mr. Graydon, on the afternoon of the incident.
Obviously, I'm not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokers. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study.
Objection!
No, you were there to redeem an article.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What?
Yeah, you were there.
Do you have something to add, Inspector, who took him in that afternoon?
Well, yes.
Tried to take him in.
Come again, Sunshine?
You, in fact, weren't you, Inspector? That afternoon.
Well, yes, I do remember meeting yourself in the pawnbrokers that afternoon. You, your young Japanese assistant, and our accused were all present, as I recall.
At that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article.
Well now. Well, I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly.
Don't fuck with me, Gregson.
Gregson, what the hell?
What? You must!
Oh, I'm not going to lie and pretend I remember something that I don't.
What's going on here? This disc is evidence in some trial, and he just doesn't want to talk about the disc.
Yeah. Gregson showed us a picture before, didn't he? You know, from the cameras that early installed in Winterbanks.
Yes, of course.
Indeed, and the gentleman pictured bears a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say. Ho, ho, ho.
My evil twin.
Yeah.
Exactly, which proves Mr. Graydon was in the shop on the afternoon in question.
At no point have I denied that fact, except for the
Wait,
statement
hang
in
on.
which I did. I merely entered the shop to peruse the articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more.
This makes no sense. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. But why would Gregson be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? That's all he's going to say on the matter, is it?
What do you think, Bruno?
I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance he has of giving himself away.
The complete opposite of Hurley, then. Seems to think that the more he says, the better.
Well, at least I managed to prise a little more information from these witnesses' lips. All thanks to the Skulkin brothers.
Yes, they were the key to it after all.
So he says he had nothing to do with Winterbanks. Well, we know that's not true.
Perhaps now would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record.
Good idea. Never know what tiny scrap of information could become a valuable weapon. Do what the game says. Go to the final statement and then look at the court record.
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
Sounds about right.
Never had anything to do with the pawnbroking establishment where the man was killed. Which we can disprove with something.
Yeah.
No names on these, so that doesn't help us.
Doesn't that... There's blood on the one that was from his glove.
Yes, but does that
blood
prove
is
anything?
This one was from the what's it called?
Yeah, from the murder, the first murder.
From the incident a while back, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually McGilded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not accepting blood samples as a thing. Don't think there's any proof on this.
Probably not.
No. That's the gilded case.
Today's paper.
The photo.
Yeah.
The thing that's probably a real photo.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like FDR.
That does look like FDR a little bit.
Sure could be.
Industry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
Oh yeah, you can actually analyze this. This is about a communications leak.
Yeah, that's right. We already talked about this, I think, at some point.
It sounds familiar. Okay, the autopsy report. Don't think says anything. Photograph does not prove he was there. Floor plan wouldn't do it. Windibank's gun wouldn't do it. Vulcan Brothers' gun I don't think would do it.
Probably rattle the shit out of him if he presented the disc.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the disc. Shooting photograph.
Well, it certainly links him to have something to do with the establishment.
I don't know, yeah. I guess
I mean, this is the one link between him and that.
just about, yeah.
I think we're just trying to get to a point where we force Gregson to talk about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Objection.
Presente.
Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon?
Why? Is it supposed to mean something?
This disc was, until the day of the murder, in pawn. Wow, this fucking sentence.
In pawn in Mr. Windibank's shop.
This disc was, until the day of his murder, in pawn in Mr. Windibank's shop.
Got him.
Thank you. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try to take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon?
As I have reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me.
Straight up gaslighting.
I've never seen that disc before in my life.
It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc.
Oh, yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps. Ho, ho, ho.
That's right, the surface of this disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations.
Show me your thumb!
Show thumb! So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of the smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
Good gracious! Indeed it must! Ho, ho, ho.
Mr. Graydon, you refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc.
Well. It would seem I underestimated you.
What? What is the meaning of this?
Yeah.
So you admit it now. You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take this disc from the defendant.
Oh boy.
Order! Order! Ho, ho, order! Well, Mr. Graydon.
It would have been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc, as you put it. No, quite the reverse.
What are you trying to say?
Oh, for God's sakes.
It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset, except it says McGilded on the back. Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of the pawn?
What?
would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now.
As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder.
Sure, buddy. You keep telling yourself that.
I mean, it might not, is the thing.
There's a note
I
on the
guess so.
disc saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me.
It wouldn't make narrative sense if it didn't.
The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy guttling on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
Oh, sorry, Santa was looking at a thing. I hear you correctly, sir.
Yep, his name is Ashley Graydon, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Judge?
McGilded, you say, the famous London philanthropist who
Oh my god.
may have
John.
coincidentally died in this courtroom? Oh, I get the thing this time. 2 months ago, in fact, after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder.
Yes, my lord, the one and the same.
Oh, good lord. Mr. Graydon, are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted?
Yes, that's correct.
Rabble.
Acquaintance with a bad man.
Order! Oh. I certainly didn't expect to hear that name uttered here in my courtroom again. She died and whatnot.
It's gonna be more than muttered in a while.
According to what Gina told us, the disc
Oh,
was
hey, Kat.
placed on.
Now,
Hey, I'm just watching you guys. I'm drawing and working on stuff.
Cool.
Oh,
you got it.
Heck yeah. According to what Gina told us, the disc was placed in pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. McGilded himself gave instructions to deposit it at Windibanks.
It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming the disc belongs to him then, isn't it?
In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hands on McGilded's disc for some reason.
Counsel, you will commence your cross-examination, please. However, before cross-examination starts, Santa must hand off his vocal cords to another, as Santa is very tired.
Okie dokie.
all right.
All right.
Good night,
Y'all get-
Santa.
Indeed, I will see everyone. I will see everyone for future sessions and whatever the hell I'm going to do on Tuesday for my stream. But I am out because I am tired and hungry. Good night, friends, and good night, internet.
Good night.
Good night.
I think that's another
my
reason.
Santa then.
Yeah, that's probably another reason to split this into 2 things for the end, just so that everyone can be present for the last scene in court.
Yeah, that part is cool.
I for some reason I have a memory of the disc not saying for McGilded, but just saying McGilded, but I think I'm wrong.
It does say for McGilded.
It does say for
I
McGilded.
believe.
Okay. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if they were going to be
You can always double
pedantic.
check.
Yeah, I
you
was
can
like,
always turn it around and see.
Yeah.
is he saying for McGilded, but he's actually wrong? It just says McGilded.
Well, excuse me, mister.
Yeah.
Can we not take off that note?
You could try examining it, maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure it'll
We
just say
did
McGilded.
before, and it was just saying it was for McGilded. I don't know if something would get changed, but
I don't imagine it.
Maybe there's something on the other side of the note.
If it seems like we should for this testimony, maybe we will.
yeah.
Maybe.
All right, note on the disc saying for McGilded.
Oh, does it?
Would you care to explain how this belongs to you?
As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary. I get distracted by his movements sometimes, and I'm like, just, what is he doing?
It's entrancing. You are. Hold up. Oh. You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir.
So you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse while on an errand. Which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question.
You claim that was your overcoat?
Obviously. And in my haste, I clean forgot that the music box disc was in its pocket.
And yet there is a note on it that reads for McGilded.
I'm a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city, and was interested to discover that he shared my penchant in the area.
I assume gentleman's club means something different in Victorian London than it does in modern
Yes,
day
it
America.
does. Yes,
Indeed, it is literally a club for gentlemen.
Yep.
So, the disc in question.
It's a pre-production sample. I promised to let Mr. McGilded hear it.
But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn?
Yes, exactly.
Gina didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she?
No, because McGilded had threatened her to keep her McGilded, threat, mouth shut. Means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury.
Oh dear. This is complicated, isn't it?
Let's leave it alone for the time being.
I really want to challenge him to be like, what music box specifically is this disc from? Because they're all different. That was something that was taught to us early on about these.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you know about this, you should know what this belongs to.
Perhaps a question.
So you're saying that Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag?
That's right. Despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insalubrious. I have never seen or heard that word before.
I've seen it before, but I don't remember what it means.
I think it just means without sanitation.
Her
Like,
kind
dislikable.
witch.
Miss Lestrade did no such thing.
Well, of course you would take that stance. But the girl is a regular offender.
Especially of a climate or locality not salubrious. Unhealthy.
Thanks.
Unhealthy.
Yeah, unhealthy, yeah. Unclean or just grody.
I don't want to fight you, you're dirty.
Basically.
Ugh.
You came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hand on Mr. McGilded's disc.
Objection!
My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense.
Nonsense!
I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing this way. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
And then I will continue with my testimony for what possible use it could be.
Hold it! Had you ever been to Windibanks before?
Only once, for the purposes of pawning something. But like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments.
So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I didn't notice at first, of course. Such is the art of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery at once in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place.
He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. Hold it! Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it?
That's right. This is the very man. Apparently, the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded as evidence.
Is something wrong, Inspector?
What do you mean?
The last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way.
No, it didn't. It's nothing. Leave it alone.
Oh yeah, he says excuse me all the time when he does stuff like that.
Excuse
Great.
me.
Excusez-moi.
Yep. Although we haven't heard yes in quite some time.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It'll be a minute.
Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilded's possessions?
I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine.
What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets?
Yes, exactly. You should know all about that.
Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet he had a dark side, too.
Where are you going with this, Van Zeeks?
I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they?
That's enough. Coppers like me have duties to carry that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know.
Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector.
The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're going to need Lord Strongheart's paw print first.
What's all this about? It's like there's something going on between Grayson and Lord Von Zeeks there.
Wow,
Oh,
really?
shit. Well, it would appear that the inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal.
Which is that he is not at liberty to reveal.
Indeed. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Gladly, my lord.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Find out what he says about this.
I was gonna say,
No
did you
reasoning.
say there was another music disc?
But perhaps
Yeah, he was complaining earlier about a second one, but he's pretending that there's only one now, I guess.
No, of course.
yeah. But
Wait,
perhaps
what?
you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items. Yeah, there was a brief talk about more than one music disc.
He was
What?
complaining. He's like, wait, there's supposed to be another one.
I'm actually
Yeah,
I'm responding. I'm
way
responding to my chat. They seem to think they're hearing Mochi, which
Mochi.
I didn't hear Mochi, but I had my headphones in, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear.
Mochi in the back.
He does.
On the
He,
front,
he
in the
does
back.
meow loudly sometimes, but. Oh, is it my
Oh.
fan that you're hearing?
Man.
Or are you seeing it move? Is that? Oh, okay. It's the movement of the fan. It's
Mochi
hot.
is your #1 fan.
It's hot in here.
You could say it's fantastic.
Oh!
I need to check, make sure my dad didn't leave the heat on again.
Not the heat on.
It's an interesting season for it.
Yeah, no kidding.
It gets we have the air on at night, and then it's cold when in the morning, I guess, for him. So.
Wow.
But perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items.
No, not at all.
Ah. Huh.
A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac.
In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilden's disc.
Have you not been listening, man? Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than I, as I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in.
Sus.
There was nothing of McGilden's left in the shop that night. Nothing this man might have been after. I wonder if that's really true.
Bruno, if you have some evidence,
Oh,
then let him
yes,
have it.
The photo of the cat on the desk.
I'm dying to see that.
So if you go to the red-handed photograph, on the desk, there's that photo of the cat and the snowman, which is the other recovery ticket for McGilded.
Oh.
I don't necessarily know that that's where it wants us to go. However, because we have the other ticket. So that's for the coat, and that's for the
box.
The box. Which, go to the front or the back of it again. It doesn't have any names on it, but
No. And this one is Redemption.
You just know it's old. Yeah.
it's the same exact day. 15th of April.
No, the 15th is the. Hold up. Let me think about this, because it's like a very specific detail.
I believe.
I think the murder happened in the night of the 15th, going on to 16th.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was the last.
This is the redemption deadline. So this is when it's the latest that you can pick it up.
Yes.
The other one expired 2 days before the incident.
So we would have to have stolen it anyway.
Well, it would have been on the sales shelf.
Yes, it would have been on the sale
Or
shop.
sold. Yeah.
Which I don't know if this is the direction it wants me to go. I just know for a fact that that's in the photograph of something else that might be.
Right, and if it was McGilded who pawned the first one, he may have pawned the second.
Well, when does it say that it was pawned? The one that's
13th of
13th of
February.
February.
2 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like 2 days before all the way around. But this one we know for sure was McGilded's because of the blood on it, and because it was the coat that had the McGilded thing.
Yeah.
We don't actually know what the box was for.
No.
And we actually don't even have any proof that it was McGilded.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, I don't know if that's where it wants us to go yet.
This one's a head scratcher.
I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble. As I was saying.
Check his phrasing carefully, and then you can decide from there.
Yeah.
McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and then had it deposited at Windibank's. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket.
There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his pearly white teeth.
The police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day.
But Griggsy's being very strange about all this.
Must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is.
Hey, Iris, you ask him. He likes to tell you things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony.
Wait, wasn't the other ticket found in the pocket? No.
No, the other ticket was just on the desk.
Yeah, it was just on the desk. It was the one
Yeah, I
with
think that
blood
was the
that was
desk
in the
ticket.
pocket.
Yeah, the blood one was in the pocket.
Okay.
Oh, wait, the photo from the blood evidence. Isn't there the photo of the coat covered in blood?
Maybe?
I don't know. Double check.
I don't recall.
I don't remember.
Photo of the coat covered in blood? I don't think so.
Yeah, the
In
overcoat,
the-
yeah. I don't know.
No, in no, in the
In the portfolio.
In
blood-
the portfolio.
No, we never
Nope.
took a photo of it. We just did the test on Gina.
Well, the portfolio says that the coat has this matching color blood
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're
wait,
not
does it?
accepting
because it's Mason's blood.
Yeah, but they're not
Oh,
accepting
right,
that as
right, right.
evidence, so we can't claim that because there's Mason's blood on the ticket that it can't be his
Correct.
ticket.
Yeah.
So that
Uh-huh.
is evidence, but it doesn't work because they don't understand.
But there
it.
is blood on the ticket.
There is in fact
Maybe
blood.
that's good enough.
Well, there's blood on the ticket, but there's
And we
also
know it's from the date of the incident that McGilded was involved in. So
But
there's
there's
only
also-
a handful of people that could have held this thing.
But there's also blood as a result of him holding onto the disc. So he would just say that that's
That's true.
his thumbprint from the disc.
he's also claiming that it's his coat and that this is not McGilda's ticket at all. So he can just say there was blood on my thumb for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
As long as
Mhm.
we can't prove it's Mason's blood, there's no way of knowing.
I suppose.
Like, the thing says McGilded on it, but he's saying that was a gift. And otherwise, there's no way of proving that it was McGilded.
Well, let's think about what statement we can contradict then, instead
Yeah.
of analyzing each individual one.
The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling on the day in question. I don't think we have any way to prove that Gina had the ticket.
No.
Not really, no.
Proceeded to the shop at once in order to explain my situation. Retain article. Yep. The other day, the disc was taken by the police.
Which we know is
That
true.
part's true.
In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that night. That seems like the money.
Okay, save real quick.
So maybe we need to find something that proves he had a reason to show up.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
other-
that seems like the way to go, but I'm not sure what the reason is.
Well, I should probably shut up, but I'm here.
Hmm.
I'll be the hint button,
Mhm.
even though I don't remember super clearly. But I think I remember sort of what we're getting to.
Got it.
So, how do we prove that he had something else he wanted to steal that night? I can't help but wonder if we need to repress something.
I don't know. I don't recall so clearly.
Because it doesn't seem like there's any evidence here to. Oh, that's-
Maybe analyze this, just look at it to see if there's
Yeah.
any reminders that might be useful.
I had
Okay,
this
nothing
conversation with
worth
Suzato, so now it's
Yeah.
just me talking to myself.
Yeah. What about the other one? Maybe there's something worthwhile here. Is it literally the same thing?
Looks like it, yeah.
Oh, this is a little. No, yeah, it's basically the same thing. You have to point specifically at the blood.
No gloves. Well, you're gonna have to present something eventually, so I guess pick.
I mean,
I just don't even have the slightest clue.
Is there anything in the McGilded case notes?
Or the shot.
There's got to be a reason we have this.
Yeah, there is a reason.
It doesn't look like it's relevant yet, though.
I had to guess this will probably be the last piece of evidence submitted because that's how his attorney likes to do it.
Yeah, probably.
Major things.
Where Susato gives you the piece of evidence that becomes the important, like, win the game thing.
The key piece of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
They like to do that.
honestly, the
They do
only
like
thing I can think of right now is just in that photograph, there's the ticket in there. Wait, could you check the photograph again?
Which one?
The one with Graydon?
The
or?
one of the storefront, because we have to determine why he would go back to the store.
Which photograph do you mean?
Not that one, yeah.
This one?
Post-shooting.
Post-shooting?
Anything unusual between the pre and post photo?
Besides the broken lamp.
And everything.
Wait.
Slightly shifted.
Everything was slightly shifted, but we know why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Chair's still in the background.
Oh wait, can we use the stereoscope
Oh, I'm sure.
to like...
Two prints in.
Yep, the explanation about how
Yeah.
it works.
Not explaining
we
this again.
understand how this works. Use this.
I don't care if we haven't read this dialogue. We're not doing it again.
I think you can open it, if I remember correctly. The little clasp.
Oh, yeah.
Cute. It looks like a Pokemon. It's going, ah!
I think this was a character in Treasure Planet.
Yeah, it was exactly that robot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, can we put pictures in it? Yes, yes, yes. Damn it. They gave it to us and they're like, this might be useful later, which made me think, hey, maybe it's a tool. We can pop those two images in. But
Maybe you need the right prompt. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we can do
Remember.
that just yet.
I mean, it's not unheard of for his attorney to combine pieces of evidence down the line.
yeah.
I just can't recall with clarity if that happens here.
Sam's a robot character on Critical Role.
Yeah, FCG.
It's the only thing I can think of. Let's click on the McGilded thing. Maybe we can take it off and look at it.
Nope.
Do you guys need a hint?
A hint would probably not go amiss.
All right. I think Caroline was onto something when she was wondering about the music box. You know, if he
Yeah.
has this disc, he needs a way to use it. You just assume that he already had it.
Right. I was gonna say there was a music box player in the
Yeah.
We do have a ticket that says redeem for a small box.
small box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bop, 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 bop. Okay.
But the ticket expired, so he couldn't use that.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So
Should we just present the ticket, implying that
I guess.
the box was needed?
Yeah. Worth a shot.
I guess
It's the only thing I can remember, honestly. There we go. I recalled correctly.
All right, well, I think it was what we were first going to present, but we just weren't at 100%.
You got nervous.
Why?
yeah.
You got cold feet on that one.
And I think we would have done it in the incorrect row because I was like, look, here's the photo of it clearly still in.
Yeah, you would have done it eventually.
Yeah.
I just saved you a little bit of time.
Well, time is useful.
Mm-hmm.
This disc was deposited at Windibanks on Magnus McGilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again. And in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. Witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again.
Objection!
Shut up.
Oh, I love when he sends that back at you.
Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true.
Excuse me? What?
Excuse me is better than what in there.
Mr. McGilded had another article in Pawn and Windibanks. As this second pawnbroker's ticket proves. There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGilded at Windibank's pawnbrokery. And the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers.
Ah.
This is the second ticket, is it?
What had the man deposited?
The article description reads, 1 small box.
A rather vague description, it seems to me.
Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbroker with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box?
I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did.
It's absurd. On earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I would simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft.
That's a good point.
It's true, he could just do that.
Indeed. The witness makes a solid argument.
That means that, for some reason, this Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night, does it?
Objection!
It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord.
Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zeeks?
Impossible.
Into saying everything we want to.
I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Windibank's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it.
What?
Oh, gracious!
Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court, if you please.
Oh, yay, more evidence.
Yes, sir.
What prints?
These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras.
Ah, Hurley's red-handed recorders again.
Gregson accidentally called them what they would be called in the future. It's pretty funny.
As previously explained using this plan of the shop layout,
Yeah, there were 2 cameras.
the victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Windibank received his customers. And the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited.
According to the information on this ticket, the gilded small box had been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident, at 9 p.m. on 13th April to be precise. Which means it will have been on the shelves of forfeited items in the front shop. Shop front. But now what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on 15th April.
Dimed Donuts, he stole something inside of the box. And we're going to see in the camera that the box was shifted.
I have a feeling we're going to use the stereoscope soon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear.
Did somebody say stereoscopes?
And then there we have another point. The print. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. I see. So we have 2 pictures to compare.
Time to play I Spy, guys.
It absolutely has shifted.
Though I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold.
Oh, it was
I'm
the
starting to mix up the voices.
it was the cylindrical thing in front of the portrait on the right.
Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache. Obviously, at Scotland Yard we consider theft as a possible motive in this case. Explore the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life. So, your men have already compared these 2 prints thoroughly, Inspector.
I'm so sorry that these 2 characters are speaking.
I'm doing my darndest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's this down in the bottom right in front of the portrait.
Yeah, the
little
cylinder has moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We counted every single item in these 2 photographic prints. And the Yard's conclusion is that exactly the same number are present in both.
But not in the same location.
In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy.
I don't believe it. It just shown that he'd stolen Mr. McGilded's pawn box. That was a hard sentence. I might have been able to break him down at last.
Break down, break down.
You know what, Runo?
Anyway.
You know what, Runo? I've been thinking.
Killer Queen is already inside your eye.
Yeah.
Jojo.
He does give some real Kira Yoshikage vibes.
He is very, very JoJo.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonder if these 2 photographs really are exactly the same.
Huh. But how would we be able to tell?
If only there was a
My
special
God.
device that we could use.
So, counsel, in light of the evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems, in fact, at the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
There be some hidden discrepancy in these 2 photographic prints somewhere.
Point out a discrepancy.
I wasn't sure at first, but there's a clear discrepancy between these 2 prints.
What?
Don't fuck
You
up
must
the play.
identify the location in question for the court, counsel.
It's right here, sir.
Right here, this guy right here. Granted, these 2 prints are almost identical. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them.
What?
Nani?
Can I hold you for a second?
Oh.
So one of the options earlier was to use a piece of evidence.
Yeah.
If you couldn't figure it out on your own, you
Yeah.
could show the stereoscope to get a hint.
Yeah, I figured that's
Yeah.
probably what that
From
was. Yeah.
So that was an option, but you figured it out without the stereoscope. So we skipped
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
stereoscope.
That was the one who thought it first. Got them eagle eyes.
Yeah.
So when you view the 2 pictures stereoscopically,
There it is.
Runo, are you okay?
sorry, I feel like I just saw the future of technology for a second. A single
In
area
1080p.
stands out as being different. The location of this small box.
There it is.
Let me... Wait. Unbelievable.
It's so real.
It's 3D.
Oh, Jesus.
By Jove,
No,
you're right.
no,
How
no.
extraordinary.
They get a lot of mileage out of these.
Oh, my lord.
No more, please. Those poses have lowered this whole game 1 letter grade for me. Please, no more.
No! They're hilarious, though.
What this tells us is very simple. Mr. McGilded's small box was indeed not stolen from the banks on the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelves.
Are you suggesting that the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilded is in fact?
Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints.
Objection!
Mindless guesswork. What if it was?
Well, as long as you're entertaining my mindless guesswork.
So a box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which means quite simply, nothing has changed.
There could be stuff inside the box. It's a freaking box.
Impossible.
I think we're getting there.
I will say it is negligence on the part of the pawnbroker if they don't identify the contents of a box.
It's true.
Yeah, he fucked up.
That may be true, but... Alright. McGilded's box wasn't stolen then, but doesn't the fact that it was moved like that change things? Changes everything.
I don't know. I don't know if it changes anything.
The text is bigger. And
It
I
does.
choose this one based on that. The text is actually oddly larger.
It is a
No,
little
it's not.
bigger, yes.
Wait, what?
No, it's not.
It looks the
Yeah,
same.
it is.
You think it's bigger because we're on the Cintiq right now, and the Cintiq is angled.
Wait, hold up. Let's look at this.
It looks the same to
Let
me.
let me get my calipers. And
No,
I
okay,
will-
so there is something weird about the kerning on the part that says every. There's something
Oh no,
weird about
everything
it.
is just huge.
Well,
Oh.
it looks huge, but I think they are actually the same size. I think there's something.
No, yeah,
visual
yeah.
happening here.
I'm pretty
It's
sure the
space
letters are
between
the
the
same
Q
size,
and the E.
yeah.
I
It's
swear
They are
to
the
God,
same
it
size.
does
doing it.
look bigger at a glance.
There is a visual effect. If you cover one of them and then the other, it starts to look normal, but it does feel like everything stands out.
The
is weird.
kerning on everything does look off to me.
It's the
Oh,
spacing
but-
on between the E, the V, and the E. There's
Yeah.
a lot of space between it, where everything else is very close together. Because if you look at the thing and the thing betwing nothing and everything,
They're the
it's-
same,
Yeah.
but every is wider than no by
And
a
I'm like
lot.
looking at that compared to like the G, the E, and the S, and it's just no, the kerning on that is odd.
Yep.
Something
Anyway.
happened there. Oh well. Maybe it was
Uh,
on purpose so that you would select it.
Yeah, maybe.
That makes great time to save. Do we think this changes everything or changes nothing?
It's up
obviously it
to you,
changes
buddy.
everything.
That seems like the bolder choice.
The localization team wants you to know that it changes everything.
Yes.
The person in charge of fonts has informed me. It has changed everything. I believe this changes everything about the case.
How can that possibly be?
Well, let's find out together.
No.
The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box.
There you go.
Yep.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks as we speak.
Objection!
That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant to this trial.
You'd like to think.
The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Seeks.
God damn it.
Bailiff, Arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once. Obtain the small box in question, and bring it back here for further examination. Or I swear to God I'll send the elves.
I'll send my fastest reindeer.
Stare down.
Van Zeeks is pissed.
He looks
Three-sided stare down. Everybody's
look
staring.
at
He looks at me.
Everybody's pissed. Nobody's having a good time.
We should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth.
To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing.
Good.
I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zeeks.
Oh.
This is nothing but a smokescreen. Anybody's specialty, it would seem. They have smoke bombs, I hear. Ninjas and
What are you
shit.
trying to
I don't
say?
know.
Your racism is becoming less intelligible.
Yeah.
My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilded from the pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place.
It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property.
If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago immediately after the conclusion of his trial. It was very unexpected. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established he was the upstanding member of society his reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast. To my learned friend and his most insightful defense.
Articles of this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. Wait, is he now admitting that this was McGilded pawning it?
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
he
yes,
is.
Might be a bit of a slip.
Yep,
Oh
he
my
sure
God.
did. He did just say that.
A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc is in one of its pockets, and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept it even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me. Yeah, sir, you just slipped up.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. That's a call of yours. It's a goodness now. It's enough. Oh my God, we're both got your toy back. We're saying for that.
But what about the scalpel?
If I look like a scalpel through my stereoscope, ow!
The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling.
It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument.
Defense.
To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have.
Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable?
Demonstrable?
Demonstrable, yeah.
Demonstrable.
It's a very odd pronunciation considering it's a version of the word demonstrate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think these days we say demonstratable. But,
Is your argument in fact demonstrable?
Demonstrable?
Is your argument critically acclaimed movie Mugen Trained, Demon Slayer? Are you able to show proof that the disc or the box are in any tangible way related to this case?
Well,
What's the matter, Runo? We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence.
Yes, of course. You and I both know that. We know Mr. McGilda's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that Mr. McGilda's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. And the defense argument was flawed based on false information.
Oh no.
I'll look bad and people will make fun of me.
I think it's more than making fun of him.
I know.
Yeah.
And also that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury.
But, Ginny...
Could it be that Von Zeeks knows?
Absolutely.
Of course he knows!
Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything.
100%. But maybe.
He has literally let the trial get to this point on purpose.
This could be a great opportunity for us.
It's a very Edgeworth move to make.
Sorry, what do you mean, Iris?
Well, what is it that you always say, Runo? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time.
Alright, the exact significance of the things that Mr. McGilda deposited with Mr. Winterbank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here? I think it's pretty obvious. Obviously, we leave it.
No good can come of this.
My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal.
Oh? What proposal, counsel?
Gets on my knee, pulls out the ring.
Oh my god!
While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGilda's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand.
The defendant? To what end?
It's to do with the various articles deposited at Winterbanks by Mr. McGilda, my lord.
You made me the happiest judge in the world.
Yeah.
Miss Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all.
Well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused's standing, and indeed your own. What would Mrs. Claus think?
Lord Van Zeeks, will you
This
care
is
to
the
explain
origin
that
story
last
for
remark?
Mrs. Claus.
The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I will not elaborate. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself.
Very well. If you have no objection.
I want Graydon to stand in the corner, quietly.
No.
And not move.
We'll now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. You witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice.
You don't have your hat, sir.
Je bid you a good day.
It's
That's
a
why that
reflex.
animation has been odd to me.
Yeah, it's a reflex. No
It
hat.
makes him look like he's wiping sweat off of his brow.
Yeah.
Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies.
All right then, Gina, it's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here.
Good luck, Runo.
I need you to trust me. I'm gonna shout at you a lot and point my finger. It's gonna be very scary. And you're going to admit to crimes. Just trust me.
Also,
Yeah,
I feel
basically.
like
It's all for the
if
best,
she's
though.
under duress, I don't think that they can do anything for perjury.
No, it's the early days of law. It
I
might
know,
not be
early days of law,
significant.
but
Unsure.
Unclear.
also I don't see how it would affect Ryunosuke's standing because, he was doing his job as a defense
Yeah, I mean, he was
attorney.
doing the best with the information he had.
Yeah. Also, to be fair,
Yeah.
he did
I think
threaten
it's more of
her,
a reputation thing where he defended a bad person is the problem.
Yeah.
but she did both lie and then commit a small terror attack on the courtroom.
Yes, that's true.
He did a lot of
They
crimes.
wheeled in false evidence.
Yep.
There's no doubt that Gina has committed crimes. It's just a matter of
I
how
would say it's a
punished
lot.
for him.
It's quite a few crimes.
Yeah.
The perjury is the important one here.
Yep. Do you guys want to take a quick break, by the way?
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Works for me. I can make some more tea.
All right. I cooked tortillas and meat for tacos. I just need to now take them out of the fridge and assemble them.
Hell yeah.
Sounds tasty.
Mm-hmm.
So, 10-ish minute break.
Yeah, 10,
Sure.
15 minutes, yeah.
All right. We'll be back
Works for
soon,
me.
everybody.
But you're buddy.
I have returned.
I was waiting, so I wouldn't be the only one.
And I got peanuts.
Nice. I have more tea. I guess the Joe and Caroline are still getting taco stuff.
Must be.
Oh, excuse me.
So, Phil, any idea why Gregson might be hush hush?
I mean, it's gotta be something from Strongheart, right? Like, something going on with McGilded. McGilded had some shady shit going on, and they're like either trying to uncover it or cover it up or something.
Hello, by the way. I am back.
Welcome back.
It does sound like there is a second investigation going on for something that's they consider much more important,
Yeah.
which probably the Gilded was doing something.
Yep.
And
I wonder what it could be.
something important is hidden on those discs. I wonder if it has anything to do with what's hidden in the manuscript.
That's a possibility.
I have, by the way, just for reference, moved the keyboard from our desk and just placed like a tray of tacos where it would be.
Nice.
That's the right place for it.
Now this is gaming.
There
No,
Pro strats.
Just
you
need
go.
some Mountain Dew, then we're total gamers.
I warn you about taking that first bite, because Gina is right on screen.
Oh yes.
Not saying anything
I'm eating
at the
peanuts.
moment, but
The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Windibank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes. And I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well.
That's right, my lord.
Sorry, I had peanuts in my mouth.
I have carne asada in my mouth, my lord. It's all right. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded.
The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now, here we all are again. Same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps, Many Penny's friend.
Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. Sorry. Now that I have swallowed, allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight onto the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then, immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances.
A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on. It could be they're investigating what happened with the omnibus, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
As indeed does the omnibus murder itself.
What a mystery.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually know why he was killed, but are looking for evidence.
Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor this small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings.
Miss Lestrade. Would you tell the court now, please? What really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean?
I don't know what you mean. I already said all what I know.
And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please look, Miss Lestrade. This is extremely important.
But...
Remember, little girl. If it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts. You have little credibility to lose. Ginny, don't listen to him! Please, you have to trust Runo now. I mean, come on. Being tried for perjury, being tried for killing someone? Which one's worse?
Didn't mean to skip through that, sorry.
You just said we're on your side.
Yep.
Oh, is Chansey and the cops work for the same boss? No?
I'll talk.
Could be.
It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilded's pawned articles in that extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets which we have been hitherto unaware. So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements.
Then everything's gonna come out. This time, I'm gonna stand up and shout. Like Von Zeke said.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
This could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk.
All right, Gina. Spill the beans.
All right. Truth is that Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw the disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over my head, and that pail on the roof went off called slops. That's when McGilda slipped that driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout.
She's gone full Cockney. I can't.
Yeah.
I can barely understand except context.
McGilda gave money to the driver to run to the pawn shop.
Yeah. Slops was cops, I guess?
Yeah.
I got this sentence in particular, I'm getting mostly through context.
Yeah. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing about no one what I'd seen or heard.
Good grief, this is outrageous. What you've just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago.
As you say, my lord.
Then there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in McGilded's trial. Sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court.
None of the Japanese players play this
In an
version
effort
so
to cover up-
English.
In an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes.
Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Of all the games they would use to learn English, I feel like a visual novel is one of the worst ones to do.
The actions of the accused in that trial, of this witness, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable.
Lies?
Lies?
To the court. We're fucking.
We're on it together.
You're wrong, the lot of you. Miss Naruto, the lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it.
Humbug!
Humbug.
Oh yeah, you should take him back, actually.
I think so. I really expected to believe that.
He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free!
Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. Stop.
Nice.
Have to stop.
Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate.
Oh, shit.
However, it is imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony. Because the true significance of McGilded's Pond articles must be brought to light.
Very well, my learned student friend.
Being student. Spicy.
Acquired. New adjective.
New adjective acquired. The esteem is slowly rising.
My learned student friend in a black coat.
The-
Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing.
Words failed me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Oh, good.
Of course, my lord.
Find him, Mr. Naruto.
Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Brickmaker was in the time in the office. And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Miss Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats.
Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all.
Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not?
False testimony, my lord.
That's what you told me I had to say.
But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances?
I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot.
What were they talking about?
Well, I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind?
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It sounded like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe. And then, all of a sudden, I had a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all.
And I believe you let out an involuntary scream?
Yeah. That's what gave me away.
Was the disc you saw this disc?
Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to Cove, lying on the floor.
Would this disc have belonged to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know, but McGilded picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat at Cove with a knife in his belly up on the seat.
What did he say to you at that time?
He told me not to say a word about it, what I'd seen or heard to no one. I don't know why I thought I was going to say, or I'd end up. About the disc and all. I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a load of questions, like what my name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too.
But after a while, what happened in the carriage was noticed.
Yeah, that's right. First there was kind of a rapping noise.
Oh man.
There were two
I wonder
gentlemen
what Egbert is.
seats on the roof deck, I believe.
I wonder why Egbert is looking the other way.
I know, I really kind of want. Can we move over to him real quick?
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
That's not suspicious.
That's not suspicious.
What the fuck?
That's weird.
Don't like that. Don't much care for that.
It's Sussy Baka, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty sussy baka.
Hang on a fucking minute.
That's right.
Remember these guys?
Oh yeah, these two.
Yep. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the Cove with the knife in his guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and Miss Gilded got me out of sight.
Quack.
Out of sight where? Back under the seat where I started off.
I was really focused on trying to eat that before my line came up.
Yeah.
Once the carriage came to an halt, the two Cove from the roof ran off to fetch the slops.
If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident.
So that left McGilded, the driver, and you at the scene.
Yeah, only driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes. You also testified in the trial, I believe.
Beppo!
I'm Beppo.
Just
Indeed.
passed over the judge's line.
Oh, I thought that was him.
No,
No,
the
that-
judge was talking.
It was the judge, but we understand he was
no,
saying
maybe
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
take the
That's
full
fine,
list,
that's
I keep
fine.
skipping over people's lines.
Okay.
What did McGilded and the driver say to each other?
I know what happened and stuff like that mainly.
the bribe.
That pawn shop obviously being Windibank's on Baker Street.
Just a moment, counsel. Do you mean to tell me
Yes.
that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well?
Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand.
Indeed, Lord Van Zix.
McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all careful like before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it gotta be worth a few bob.
Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbrokery.
The driver looked pretty happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. Then the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin.
Beppo was in on it the whole time.
He was.
Yep.
Beppo participated.
Yep.
I'll be honest, Beppo was at the bottom of the list of people I thought would be involved in this crime.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. The honest man was the banker and the hat maker this whole time.
It's in his name, fair play.
Yeah, no, that's
He
true.
was playing fair.
That's true.
Still, I really thought Lady First was going to be a woman disguised as a man.
Yeah, that's still a little bit weird, that name. Threatened you how exactly?
Yeah, Beppo
Told me
just took a bribe. People take bribes all the time.
Yeah. Told me I'd only be able to scupper if I did exactly what he said.
Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's it. And there was one other thing he said.
Which was?
He told me I have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
Okay, to be fair, I think responding to a threat is actually the lowest, the bottom tier of conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beppo was way more involved.
Like, he was more involved than Gina.
Yeah, he was just paid to do that.
So if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to a pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug to stop being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
Oh, really? Why on earth would McGilded done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of police? It makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGilded had the driver deposit at Windibank's was something he didn't want police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs.
Anyway, after that, he let me go, so I legged it before the coppers showed up.
Well done, Gina. Can't have been easy to tell the truth like that.
She's really put her faith in you, Bruno.
Yes, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once the trial's over. So I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
Time to really go for it. Pressure on every statement.
Put this gun right in her face. I suppose I should.
Oh, and another thing.
What's that?
Yep.
What the fuck is going on over there?
In case you didn't notice.
Isn't it strange that they've been whispering to each other the entire time?
That is strange. What the fuck's going on over there? It looks like they're having a secret discussion about something. I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I can do about it.
So we've pressed all of the statements.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did any of them change?
So,
I don't think so.
No.
Maker,
Oh, no.
Irishman dragged me out from the thing. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over my head. And that's when Mr. McGill had slipped the driver some time. Don't tell me not to snitch.
Yes, the same.
Yeah, so
I don't think it.
so do we have to like press to try and get
You can hold
I-
circle to skip.
oh, okay. Do we have to press to get a response from these from these
Like
two?
repress a statement and hope
Yeah,
that
we
there
might-
is a.
We might
I
need
think
to
we
press
probably
again,
just have
yeah.
to repress everything, yeah.
Maybe the one...
Try the one with the ticket. Maybe.
Well, I was gonna
The
say
thing they
the
don't want it talking about.
the one where they where she
Maybe the disc on the floor or something.
yeah, the one where she was talking about the disc, and we got to the point of it was probably something he didn't want the police to see.
Well,
try
this is
that.
the first one to mention the disc, so maybe just hold circle and see if we get anything new.
I'm terrified to hold circle.
It won't skip if we get an actual interruption.
That's true.
Yep, same difference.
Okay.
Maybe you just need to interrupt them without the exclamation mark.
Maybe just interrupt them at any point.
Two.
Worth a shot. I don't remember exactly, but it doesn't tell you
I mean-
not to do it.
Left.
Hey,
I guess just press A. Shit, what's A?
X.
X is
Let me take
yeah.
control.
Yep, I got it.
It's the bottom face button.
Yeah.
Is there something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector, Mr. Graydon!
Blimey, you're trying to give me a heart attack?
You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about?
Discussion? With this fella? Pull the other one, Sunshine. You think I've got anything to talk about with shady chat like this?
I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine.
But they've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating.
Thank you, Miss Lestrade. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired in the omnibus.
It would appear on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus.
Speaking of negotiations,
Negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force. At the expense of the other man's life.
Gasp.
Which proves my point. The disc was clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why as yet.
And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coat and its contents were due to be forfeited.
I didn't know what I should do with a ticket. I mean, the cove died right here after its trial. I knew that.
So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own?
Why not, eh? They were only going to be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
This was fraud. It would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be?
Clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably going to sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Think it ain't no crime.
Perhaps thinking should be a crime. Oh, excuse me.
I think that's the bailiff.
Oh, it is,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it is, your lordship. Of course, that be located. It is ready for the court's inspection, sir.
Oh, right, the box.
They found the box.
You signed on to do this, bailiff.
For like one line, and then it turned out to be probably the most involved a bailiff has
Yeah,
ever
that's
been.
true.
And it was
That's
after
pretty ironic,
you said
isn't
you
it?
didn't want to do the Skulkin brother.
That's true. Whoops.
And he has more lines than the Skulkin brother.
That is really
That's true,
funny.
he does. What are the odds? This voice is easier than the Skulkin brother voice, though.
Nah.
The mysterious little box deposited by McGilded 2 months ago.
Time to open the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
No doubt in my mind, it's a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle.
To be continued. It's
Oh,
time for the
shit.
last part of the trial.
Genuine
It's long.
question. Is this the stopping point we should do if we want to finish the story with everybody?
I think we should do a little more because this part is long, and
I
then the
think-
epilogue and the credits are long,
Yeah,
and they're good. Like
that
you
makes
want to
sense.
sit through the whole thing,
that makes sense.
so we may as well get a head start on part 4, and then pause somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would probably be the case.
That would be my humble recommendation. So, this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago.
Mr. Windibank's murder. The only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop.
Nice looking box.
Quick, quick! Let's open it and see what's inside!
It's a fucking music box.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Of course it is. What else could it have been? Good gracious,
I mean,
this is an
it-
ordinary box, it seems.
Wow. Although in truth, I had an inkling that that might be the case.
It would appear that the box Excuse me. Oh god, my voice. Would appear
Too much chalice.
It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement.
Grumpies. Then, is it too much to expect?
I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord.
The disc was pretty big. That looks
Yeah,
like a pretty
it
small
doesn't-
music
the
box.
dimensions don't feel like they line up, but...
It
I
might
think the
slot
disc
into
is the size of I think the disc is the size of the palm of a hand, more or less.
Mm.
I also feel like it doesn't necessarily go on top. It might slot in at the bottom or something.
I
You'll
mean,
see it.
I
You'll see it in
guess
scale.
it was big enough for 2 caramel bars next to each other to get the full imprint. That's actually pretty small.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Also,
All right.
I don't know
Oh.
the size of his caramel bars.
Actually,
Here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc deposited at Windibanks at much the same time.
Extra large caramel bars.
Hmm.
Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded? McGilded's disc.
McGilded dicks.
dildo.
Dicks.
It wasn't McDildo's.
It was not McDill's dick.
McDiddle's.
Diddle's dick.
Oh, okay.
It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus.
Well, why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded?
Thank you for emphasizing the S on disc.
It took me a second. Had to like really reconfigure. Hey, raised hand. Look at that.
I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord.
Great Scott!
Very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last.
Magnum McDilda's music dick.
My lord!
Oh.
I see.
Squeezing food vigorously. Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector? This music box and the disc are, they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
Objection.
Disc may very well have motivated the culprit in the case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened.
The prosecution has no objection.
But no! That piece of evidence is police property. Now you can't.
Shut up! Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening.
I really want to know what the beef is between Zeeks and Gregson, because, like, it's some intense
Like,
beef.
goddamn.
No further delays, please. Play the disc.
It's some wagyu.
Well, okay, it's just because normally the prosecutor and the investigators are in on it together, and it's just weird seeing them not.
Yeah, normally an ace attorney, they're like colluding
Yeah.
in a way that's super not cool. But I get the feeling that Von Zeke's problem isn't with Gregson specifically as much as just the institution of policing.
Probably.
I think he thinks there's something underhanded going around. And
Yeah.
he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And he's probably right.
Names of class. Names of class. Anyways, here it is.
Huh.
I guess it is that small. Is that Morse
That's
code?
more. Yep.
It's absolute Morse.
Oh, and we've
Cool.
got the...
We do have the lady with the... Yeah.
What on earth?
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think the sticker on it affects it at all?
No, because the pins are on the underside.
Yeah,
And
it's the
all of the
underside.
spokes that hit against the pins were already shown on the underside.
Yeah, that's true.
Juror number 5, actually, I think, is the one.
That's certainly not what I would call music.
Wow.
Now that's what I would not call music.
I'm shocked they put this joke in the game. I am shook. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence.
Quite irregular.
Which is so wild to me because the pins are in different places and that should be different notes. Unless the music box itself is.
I think the notes are affected by the length of the pin.
Right, so then the music box itself has to be the fancy thing rather than... And I
But
guess
if all the pins are the same size,
If the
then it's
music
the
box is
placement of the
only
nibs.
purpose is to play the secret, there's no reason to put different notes either.
So the pins,
Yeah.
pin location is what affects notes. Just because I have a bunch of music boxes, so there's underneath. You see it. There's like little teeth that are of different lengths. That when the pins hit that particular tooth, it makes the note. So the fact that they're not all on the same row, if you will.
Well, but this box, if you saw before, this box has teeth that are all the same length.
Size. So this disc and this box have to go together.
They have to.
If you were to play this disc in another music box of that same size, it would probably play music. And if you were to play another thing on here, it would give you different Morse code.
This box is fundamentally incapable of playing music.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you have some Nigel Master too.
Ha 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 ha.
That's what you went to.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, print it.
Mr. Graydon.
Nailed it in one.
This is really priceless. Oh.
Ah, there you go.
After all that, the music box is broken.
And now it's playing dramatic strings.
Yeah.
Broken? It can't be, can it?
Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officers sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues.
Come on, court juror number 5. Come
Come
on,
on.
step in.
Come on,
Say
number 5.
something.
Are you ready
number
to move
5 is
on,
kind of-
counsel?
They're like the MVP in this case, I'm gonna be perfectly honest
I
with
know.
you.
Come
Yeah.
on. Come on. Yes, exactly. Come on.
Come on!
Yes, alright, it does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Yes. Is it?
Yes. It could be a clue.
The most firm choice possible.
No way.
I believe it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be?
I was afraid you were gonna do that.
It's an abomination, counsel. Mere noise. I fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever.
Come on, come on.
Does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me.
Oh.
Good old one-take clinic, that's what they call you.
One take. Yep. That's me. No do-overs.
Don't need him.
You get in one, you never need to do do-overs.
Yep.
Yep.
While Graydon stands there chortling vicariously.
Victoriously.
It's not vicarious at all.
The inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge.
Oh, the newspaper clipping might be the evidence if they ask for evidence.
If that's the stance of the defense, my Japanese friend, answer me this.
Oh?
What is this horseshit?
Yeah.
Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case?
It is the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is an unusual genre.
No,
There is,
God.
you cannot stop me from selecting this option.
No,
Your
no,
Honor, it's rap.
No,
It's called rap.
stop. No, please. I beg of
I think
thee.
that
No.
I think this is
No.
Nightcore.
It could be an unusual genre of music that none of us are yet familiar with, except for the cool people.
Oh my god.
I hate
You
this.
did it. The
Hate
madman. He knew the wrong answer and chose it anyways.
Oh no, and now you had to make me watch Graydon's dance animation.
Counsel? Would you care to elaborate on that remark?
Well, it could be a new style of music that's about to take the world by storm, for example.
I think not, counsel. Such monotonous nonsense could be pleasing to no one's ear, surely.
If this is what the kids are into, then the world is doomed. Well said, my lord. And here's to my learned friend seeing that remark's true meaning. It's math rock, my lord.
Blink. Are you gonna load back on that, or are you gonna take it?
taking it on the chin.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this up front.
Yeah?
As Ace Attorney 1 is particularly rife with this,
Hmm.
there are some of the best lines in this game are incorrect choices.
Hell yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's
Do
see if
have
you
pretty
grasp
good
the
things
question
like that.
better next time around.
Please just make the Morse code stop. It's not
You
Morse
gotta
code.
say the right thing so that it stops. It'll keep going.
Yes, it is in fact math rock.
It's Morse core.
Morse code.
Morse core.
Not supposed to be music.
Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music.
Huh?
You sounded a lot like somebody else there for a second, Mr. Graydon. Look at that. Smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. It must be.
Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo.
Objection!
The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not, I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Japanese friend. Surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument.
Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness.
Foolishness.
It is beyond foolish. It is stupid.
Yeah.
I love when you put a Y just out of disdain. Oh, they got me. I don't know what the answer is. Yet.
Runo?
I hate that face so much. I hate that animation.
Low realization.
It's such a good
It's the
face.
best one.
So dopey.
It's like, huh?
It's the face of somebody who's really focused on somebody.
Screenshot
somebody
this.
tapped
I
them
get
on
an
the-
emote.
Yeah.
It's like you're very focused. Someone taps you on the shoulder, and like
Yeah.
you unplug your headphones, and you're just like, what? Huh?
Huh?
Outside world.
I've just examined the music box very thoroughly. I don't have emotes yet, but maybe one day. I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Really?
Definitely. The way it's been made, can only produce a single note anyway.
Thank you, Iris.
Time to look at the box.
Because on the underside, all the pins, all the teeth are going to be the same length.
All right. Well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical.
Bullet time.
Ah. Bullet time. Are we Danganronpa now?
No, that's wrong!
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money.
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money.
Could it be? Is that what these sounds are?
Something's just struck me, Runo.
Oh god,
From
was
where?
it lightning?
Thunderstruck! Feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes.
It's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing.
I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, Council?
That's exactly it, my lord. The devil.
Oh, golly!
Don't worry. It only comes out if you play it backwards.
Well, that's a relief.
All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, that's all pointing to one single answer now.
The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation.
It's my proof, and I need it now.
Give me the proof!
Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm gonna get to fight back at this trial. If I'm right, it's gonna join all the dots together.
Just like the dot on the
all
music
these dots and dashes.
The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds of this music box is...
It's probably the newspaper clipping.
Yeah? Could be. That's the only thing I readily think of.
Today's paper, Council. The headline is Pawnbroker perishes in pickpocket plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause.
No, the other side.
Basically
looking
what
for a
you're
new
saying
maid.
New maid wanted.
Hot maids in my area.
Oh,
Must not be able to throw knives.
Wait, can I see that? Hang on.
No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page.
Further down. Ministry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter. Being investigated at the highest level, I understand.
I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries.
And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wire telegrams.
Of course.
Juror number 5, your input, please.
Stop. Oh, me, sir. Whatever is the matter?
You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not?
Yes, that's correct.
And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports.
Oh, yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important.
Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound?
Hmm? You don't mean to say, is it?
That's right, madame. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code?
But I don't believe it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer.
Oh, shit.
Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code?
Oh, shit. It's
You don't
fucking
believe me? I'll
Morse
play it
code.
again.
It's a quid pro quo.
Judge?
Sorry, I forgot this was me. I was reliving the excitement of the
Oh,
plot.
I thought you were just gonna leave it at, this is a quid pro quo.
No. Order! Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment.
Ace Attorney, tactical espionage action.
It's still so early. The disc isn't going to give us any Morse code that actually means anything.
No, because there's a second disc.
Yes,
Mhm.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? What is capital punishment?
Some words I'd expect you to know.
For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
But who would hate the British Empire?
Everybody.
Who would hate the glorious British Empire?
And don't say the French.
Well, the French,
Germans,
yes, but everybody
Russians,
too.
Everybody in Africa, everybody in South America, everybody in America.
India.
Can't forget India.
Yep.
Most
So
of
you
Southeast
see-
Asia.
This is quite the calamity.
I think Japan's okay with you guys.
At the moment.
At the mo.
Yes, and on that night, 2 months ago. Oh yeah, Australia's in.
Oh yeah, Australia.
Yeah, they're
hardly
with
a
you.
nation at this point.
All those prison guards are with you. The natives and the prisoners aren't fans of you, unfortunately. That was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus.
But in the end, McGilded perished and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery.
My word.
In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must have surely been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it could be found, it found its way out of the country,
It would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death.
the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon?
You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous.
So, in response to a defense accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you?
Well, of course I do. I want to stand in silence while the pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies. In response to the accusations brought by the defense.
Delight. Sure.
The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank. That being a most flagitious offense, for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. Flagitious is a big word.
I don't think I've ever seen that word before.
Yes, I would assume that's the pronunciation of it.
I think it's just like saying offensive offense.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Saying offensive offense.
Yeah.
But the heinous act of high treason is no less a serious crime. No less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then, let us proceed. You may. It's the brothers.
Yeah, guys, have a rap pork here, Governor. We got things to say.
Can someone sub in for me? I have too many.
I can try to be both of them.
Okay.
To be both of them? Okay.
I beg your pardon? Who do you think you are?
Name's Nash Skulshkin. Occupation is professional baddie.
Are you here to rescue it, John?
Oh, hey, John.
Yes. Yes, I am.
John's here to rescue it! Yay!
Hey! Here's Ringo.
Give me a moment.
Any
You gotta
voice that
channel the
comes out is
wise.
fine.
Yeah.
Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't buddies enough to sell out of motherland.
Perfect.
That's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin' Brothers.
I love this pausing on this.
Just like Gregson blinking.
Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing.
They're going to be hanged
Wow.
for like 3 instances of perjury, breaking and entering, robbery, and attempted murder.
Don't forget high treason.
Yep.
They might get away. They might not actually get charged with the high treason.
And jaywalking.
And jaywalking. Alright. Graydon's counter.
Counter.
Right. Caroline has stepped away to get a drink real quick.
How much longer before the stopping point you were thinking of, Dom? Do you think?
Do you think this should be the last testimony?
Probably, yeah. I think this is probably the last testimony that we'll do before. Not the last testimony of the case, but the last one that we'll do for this particular batch.
Sounds
as much
good.
as it pains me, because this is where it's getting fucking juicy.
Yeah.
So that means that everybody gets to pick back up at an exciting
This is where
Yeah,
this is where the
exactly.
steak is sizzling on the grill, and it's like, it's almost ready.
Yep.
Okay. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I have no relation to the man.
Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night like what he told us to do.
If we don't know what dodgy government shoes of all we want, I'm not to.
I do love that they immediately are like, oh, no, this is above our pay grade. We're turning on you now, bro.
Yeah.
They have literally been told multiple times, if you lie again, you will be killed.
Yeah.
You will be hanged.
And most criminals are cowards.
Yes. So I think the Skulkin brothers are probably reliable at this point.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's just, like, being threatened with, like, being killed is one thing, but being threatened with betraying your motherland.
Yeah.
Yeah, high treason? Nah, no way, man.
Yep.
You fucking
Not
what,
for the
mate?
queen. I may be a criminal, but I'm a patriot. Damn it.
Oh, great.
Exactly.
They're on the same wavelength as the Joker.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
One Mr. will do, Governor. What's up?
Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And moreover, you did so as a party of 3 in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here.
We did, Gov.
So we did. And I'd fucking do it again.
Straight up confession.
Quieten down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these 2 ruffians are referring to.
I've never seen these men before in my life.
He's fucking gaslighting his friends.
You little frauder getting us all mixed up in this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job.
And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Our old bloke didn't have to die, did he?
To know who your friends are.
Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations.
Oh, indeed.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this low music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it into the court record as evidence.
We can look at it now.
Cross-examination.
Yeah, shut up, Graydon. I have to look at a music box.
Shush.
We're busy.
More important things. It's the mechanism that turns the bumps on the disc into sound, isn't it?
Yes, the movement. It's all thanks to the comb with its teeth that are plucked by the passing bumps. Usually the teeth on the comb are different lengths so that each one produces a different tone. But this comb is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that no matter which tooth is plucked by the passing bumps, the music box will make the same sound. Never seen a music box like it before.
It is strange, a music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely.
It's funny, is when we first got opened up, I did in fact immediately notice that there was all the same teeth length, and I just assumed they just didn't look at reference when designing the insult.
No, they did.
How many times did they spend? Like, how much time did they spend briefing us on how a stereoscope works?
Right.
Yeah, I think they were thorough. I reckon. Look at that
button.
What is this thing?
What's the button do?
Ooh.
What is it, Runo?
I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well.
Oh, you're right. Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it.
Press the button.
Here goes.
Look at that. There's another movement on the underside.
So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side?
Oh, shit.
There's where the second
I
thing
think so.
needs to go.
It looks like the two movements are linked together.
They're linked.
So if you had two discs, they would both play back at the same time.
We have.
Maybe that's why juror number
copy.
5. Maybe that's why juror number 5 didn't notice anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's half of the Morse code.
It's only half of
Half
it.
of the Morse code.
Extra secure.
We do not actually
We don't have the caramel copy.
No, we don't.
I think it was.
Well, we don't have the second.
Yeah.
We don't have the second disc period because the caramel copy was of.
Yeah,
this
that was of
disc
this
that we
one.
have.
Yeah.
It actually was in our inventory and then got replaced with the real article.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there is a second disc that is still missing.
Which I guess is what we need to prove here.
Hold it!
Well, I would press before deciding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this newspaper headline. What? So is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted.
How could I possibly know?
But you...
What do you mean by that? Yeah, it would only be playing dots, not dashes.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information.
It's
stop.
the dirt.
Must say something. Stop.
Let me guess. Juror number 5.
We regular communication station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader.
Oh.
That's fascinating.
Oh, Graydon is not so happy. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
So, you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon.
Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are sent enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them.
I thought he was saying encrypted at first. I was like, that's not what that says.
Yeah.
Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with Ministry technicians and the Ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in the important international communications. And he's received the top prize at the cipher cracking convention 5 years in a row now.
Wow!
He just so happens to be an expert, eh? Good to know.
Number 5 is just...
That's fascinating.
Graydon's so wishing that there was a different juror on the
Oh, absolutely.
thing right now.
I think this jury might be stacked.
Absolutely, it is.
I think this was all very intentional.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way this is just happening.
Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop.
You stop.
I almost spit out my drink.
Never meet your heroes, kids.
Well, your idol would appreciate it if you kept your little mouth shut.
Should really pick her idols more carefully.
I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded.
Hold it! They're not?
To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds.
Of course. What are you talking about?
Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. I mean, you did say the name of it earlier, so I assumed you were familiar.
Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance.
Wait,
Ha ha ha.
who is laughing? Ah.
MVP over here.
Yeah, MVP.
I would be
MVP
more than
number
happy
5.
to demonstrate the basics for you, sir.
A lesson here in court?
Morse code is...
We've had plenty of lessons in court already. Why not another one?
This is at least better than the stereoscope.
Yeah.
Continuous series of 2 distinct tones.
Tones, you say?
Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining these in different ways, you construct letters.
I see.
For example, this is A, and this is B.
There you go.
I know how to do SOS in Morse code. It's dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot.
There you go.
When you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, did you?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dots.
But it sounds so similar. The rhythm of it is the same in everything.
But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code.
No. Oh.
Except... Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you?
He looks like a JoJo villain.
He does.
He laughs
Yeah, it's because
like
he's
a
fucking
JoJo
Kira
villain.
Yoshikage.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
Just Kira Yoshikage.
Shoujo villain.
He does have a magical girl villain kind of laugh.
Yeah.
And that music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in the future.
Stop. Nothing to say, but stop.
Nice callback.
Ugh, it's so frustrating, isn't it?
We can present.
Iris?
I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely.
But there'd still be something I haven't considered. Would it really be impossible to use this music box to somehow play back Morse code?
We know this now.
Give it a try. Give her a whirl.
There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum?
Yes, greatly.
Well, good. I'm glad. It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required. Dots and dashes.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Well, good. Then what?
Well, it would appear the defense has its hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, Counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code?
It's the other side of it!
Flip it. Flip it.
Yes.
The solution in Ace Attorney is always flip it.
Hey, Iris, I've just noticed something.
Oh my god, what did you find?
I think you can
Look,
probably
I'm
get through
Put
impressed.
this.
that thing, put that evidence down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yep. Bop it, turn it, twist it, show it. Objection. Hold it.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Put it! Perfect.
Got there.
Whenever moving the evidence around, though, now all I can think of is the Jello Apocalypse video where he's going through the Edgeworth games, and he does a skit where it's like, oh, it's Gumshoe, like, I'll hold this evidence for you. So whenever you're turning it around and examining it, it's just Gumshoe moving it for you.
So you just get scenes of Gumshoe just pointing the gun right into your face.
Oh, it's good.
You can set another disc to play on the thing.
What the fuck? That's incredible!
Yo, shit's pretty litty, right?
Shitty witty.
That means it maybe different tones.
All right, let's present.
Oh, let's click on the thing. I think there was a present option, not a...
Yeah, I think maybe you were supposed to
You
present
might have
this.
misclicked. Yeah. Might have been a misclick.
Yeah, 2 combs lengths aren't the same, so it's 2
They'll be different from the one we heard before.
Although it does mean that you have to know ahead of time which one belongs to which side.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, if you get it wrong the first time, the second time will be right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good gracious, what am I looking at here? Another movement on the other side of the music box?
It appears, my lord, that the 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in this music box, and the sounds will play back at the same time.
Good heavens!
As the chord is heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message.
Uh-huh.
This is beyond a joke.
He has such like a little fluid slap.
Yes. Also, I love that his arms, his left arm is continually down by his side.
Yeah.
They haven't dropped that.
He only uses it for dancing and wiggling.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry?
This is a poor excuse for a lawyer. Has absolutely no evidence to support his claims.
Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well?
I can't at the moment.
Put the other disc on the other side so you can hear the other.
May I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs.
Indeed. That was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
To do with it.
Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue.
You're gonna have to hold on to that.
Yep. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere.
Also, I'm willing to bet he went and looked inside of the small box to see if the disc was still inside of the small box.
Oh, absolutely.
And it might have been.
Yeah, the second. That's what I've been thinking. Was the second one was in there still?
Yeah, and so he took it.
Took it, probably, maybe.
Because it would make sense.
Unclear.
Although he did seem to think that the coat would have both.
That
and then probably later was like, oh, I should probably go check the box.
Yeah.
Right.
He wasn't fully informed, it seems.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's possible it wasn't in there at all. The second disc is somewhere else.
Unclear.
But I haven't found it yet.
Oh dear. Looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Rude.
You will reiterate your testimony, if you please, Mr. Graydon.
If I'm saying exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination.
Low-class brickmaker. Yep.
Hold it! Or is it?
So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGill killed the brickmaker and stole the disc.
Level figure, Rude. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. Seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago. The people there remember little about him.
It's rude.
That doesn't make much sense, though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information?
How indeed.
There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason. In order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal.
A middleman, if you will. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that.
Themes of class.
An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together.
The head scratcher, isn't it?
It sucks because the ticket he was claiming was his. Has the blood we know is Mason's, but that doesn't work because it's purple and they don't believe.
They don't accept that evidence.
Yeah, they do not accept that evidence.
If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony.
Alright. And we got these two.
Yep.
Like the Dr. Brothers.
Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? Silly me, though. He was just popping over for a natter. Actually, missed a word there. Silly me thought he was just popping over for a natter after all them years. But the rotter had a dodgy job for us. Eh, Ash?
Catch him?
Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say. Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know.
Ooh.
Sure, let's say Graydon's old China.
Look at him. Is my guess correct in that they are actually related? I don't think so, because I don't think they'd throw a brother under the bus.
Excuse me. Clear, but pursue it.
Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other Mr. Skulkin.
What? Who? Me? Oh. That's the sound of my cheeks.
That works.
When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react.
Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together way back when.
Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean?
Yeah, with Ash. I mean, look at him now in his fancy whistle feeling you wouldn't have him an equal. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town just like us.
Engaging in cannibalism?
Nah, that's pretty funny to think about.
There's something deeply upsetting about this. Is that so?
What fruit do you think the third brother is? Maybe like a banana?
A peach, maybe?
An egg.
Perhaps an egg.
An egg.
Yes, an egg.
One of these things isn't like the other.
Just bites into a raw egg, it cracks, shatters everywhere.
He's got like the yolk dripping down his face.
Yeah.
But he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads.
Or blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run?
Huh?
That was a corker, eh?
Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom.
Wait a fucking second. If his real name is Milverton, is this where the WM embroidered thing comes all the way back? I don't know.
Neither does your fruit. Stop eating. You're getting fruit juice everywhere.
Here's a quick hint. You might want to check the court record again. But after this conversation, if you want to. Either way works. Doesn't matter. It's more hidden than you think.
Milverton. We've heard Milverton somewhere.
Maybe?
Wait,
Your
check
books. Your books.
I was gonna say the thing, the Susato.
Oh yeah, Mason Milverton.
Mason Milverton.
Milverton!
There it is.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's Phil.
I already
said
read this one.
Oh, okay.
Best shit ever.
Oi, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering.
Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong.
Did they just call Naruhodo a geezer?
Yes.
Seem.
Nevertheless, our court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip to memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please?
Could that sentimental story be relevant? Add it to the testimony, add it to the testimony, add it to the testimony.
Do it.
There's a couple times in Ace Attorney where they give you like 3 things that you can add to the testimony, and only one of them is right.
Right.
But I have never once in my life not added something to the testimony.
Usually adding the testimony is the right call.
I've watched you guys play all of this, and this is we've encountered one of those tricky moments in the game where we as players have ideas, but we don't have permission to like execute them yet.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we gotta wait until the game.
We just gotta keep going forwards.
I know.
Yeah, this is where the sort of the separation of like mystery game versus visual novel comes into play.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a D&D game.
Stop playing a game.
You can metagame. Your character might not know it all the way through.
Yeah.
That's true.
At that point, you're less playing the game and watching a thing happen.
Yep.
My lord.
Here's counsel.
The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this tape.
Oh, look, the pin on his collar is that's like the how many chances you get symbol.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, I believe it's the symbol of your academy.
Yeah, I think so.
Very well, Counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add.
Say no more. A skulkin's never
skulkin'.
There it is.
I'm sure I'm gonna regret asking, but what exactly was it at? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really.
Do you want to check Graydon's expression?
Well, a thing will pop up if it changes.
He's upset, but if there's something serious, it'll exclaim. But yeah, he's upset still. He angry.
Deliver a fresh smoke to the locals. That what it was all about.
That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate. But on what?
Name.
Namaiwa.
So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's Milk Run, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it.
And where did the Milverton part come from? All right, I thought clever clocks like you would have worked that.
Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this?
It's interrupting all over the place.
You shut your fucking face.
Yeah, basically.
Let me guess, you don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying? Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject?
Because
it weren't the happiest of homes that one came from.
Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him.
She took the name Graydon then, see?
But Ash will always be Milverton to us.
Ooh, themes of class.
So that used to be your surname, did it?
Was it his dad? Was his dad the one?
So bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born.
Bunkum.
Bunkum. Word of the day.
Yes, Phil has figured it out. Ashley's dad is thrice fried Mason.
Bunkum, is that the thing where you eat a bunch of food on camera?
You're thinking
Oh my
mukbang?
god.
Yes, I am. That's the joke.
That's funny.
His dad was the thrice fired Mason. He was the thrice fried egg.
Yeah, thrice fried egg.
Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves?
God,
You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. Yes? What are you saying, John?
No, sorry, it's a stupid joke. I was picturing frying an egg and then dropping it in hot oil and then like cooking it in like maple syrup or something. A thrice fried egg. Sorry.
I mean, that doesn't sound too terrible, really. Might be a little dry, but
No, sure. Anyway, carry on.
I would be terrified to fry something in maple syrup.
I don't know. I was like, what's a third thing you can fry? Like after you've done it in like with like breading and hot oil, what's left? And I was like, I don't know, French toast. Who knows?
Yeah, just do it again.
Anyway.
All right.
As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon.
He may be a racist, but he doesn't dead name people.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct?
Very well. Yes.
So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. And could turn out to be extremely important.
Hint. Well, I think we found our piece of evidence then.
Yep.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in the serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still conjecture at this stage.
It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Jenny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Windibanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded.
No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered.
If only there was some link between the two men somehow.
Some kind of link? I know.
What could possibly
But
be
Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever.
We need to find a way to link summon them.
Yeah. Yep.
Wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here could be those two brothers.
Sure looks it.
Wonder.
And
That's the one.
so this is the one.
Do you have anything with
Tell
the
him
name
he's
on?
full of shit. Yeah, you remember you read it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the thing, the one that Susato gave us.
Yep.
Yep. Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court?
Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me.
No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name.
Remember the initials on his cane?
Yeah.
They were AM.
Yep.
Oh, were they? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Caroline
was right about it.
It was like, yes, I spell Eggert with an A, and...
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember
was right
that.
About the cane.
I remember
it was
that
important after all.
and then I made the McGilded joke.
Yes, and you were all like, maybe it's actually a W.
Yep.
I will
Sholmes
never
was
let
onto it. He just didn't know why, but he knew there was something.
Yep.
Explain yourself, please, counsel.
I have here the notes from the omnibus case, Your Honor, my lord. No one said Your Honor this entire game, but I still was gonna say it.
Your lord?
Your Honorable Lordship. And as we all know, the victim, the man we now know, we now understand to have been negotiating with Mr. McGilded.
Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton.
Milverton? Do you mean to say? Saints alive!
That's an oxymoron, sir. Mr. Ashley Milverton. Is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father?
Dun dun dun!
Yes.
I don't.
Straight up Star Wars moment.
As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service. It really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records.
Get fucked, Graydon.
Truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father.
Whoa! Sure spun around there.
See, here's the problem.
Yeah.
He was negotiating with Gregson.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's flipping on someone.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we're not going to be able to get him on anything because he'll have made a deal.
Yeah, because he wouldn't be making any kind of agreement with Gregson unless Gregson knew this is what he was doing. And if Gregson knows this is what he's doing, there's something else going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unclear.
The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth.
Truth, you say?
That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded.
By dint of this music box, you mean, Counsel?
Yes, stealing information.
You know who else was in on this conspiracy? It was Matt Murdock and Michael Morbius.
It's Morbin time.
Mighty Morbin.
And that was when the defendant morbed all over them.
Simply a cheap imitation.
Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme using 2 music box discs to encode the information. As, presumably, a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever.
The deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end.
But before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windibank's 2 days ago. In an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn... I almost read 3. In pawn number 3.
In pawn 3.
That's a look.
Yep.
But that attempt failed.
One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc.
Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box?
Oh my god!
Okay, genuine question.
Yeah.
When he pointed the gun at us at the store, did it seem like Gregson was not super alarmed by this?
I don't remember.
Can't recall.
I seem to recall he was just like, hey, what the fuck's going on? What's
Yeah, I think he was like weirdly casual about it, but I don't remember for sure.
Do you think he let him go?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At this point, I absolutely think that happened, yeah.
Unclear. I'm saying that now.
You're welcome, Dom.
Thanks.
Ringo?
Ringo Starr.
Ringo?
Oh, yes. We never knew anything about that. Nothing about that.
On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed. Yes,
Sorry about that.
and this is to go even further beyond. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone, the music box.
As rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed.
Alright, don't clap yourself on the back.
Pat yourself on the back?
Scopes.
So the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious.
Wow.
Because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. I don't like that you're looking at me like I'm wrong. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago?
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Sir? There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket.
There we go. Here we go.
It's the high blood pressure.
Also, you appear to be bleeding from your thumb. Actually, you're just kind of bleeding everywhere.
Oh no! And then Van Zieks turns around and says, "Oh my, what more she did?" Nani?
Van Zieks goes fucking Pharaoh, leaps across the thing.
He's like, I can't.
Just quietly walks up and just tips his glass.
Wow.
We did crack the egg, yeah. We just cracked the egg.
Gross. We know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windibank Pawnbrokery. 1 took the life of the pawnbroker himself. 1 struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? He's got you now, me old China.
Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon.
Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember, and I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust common backslum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Windibanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me, and as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. Begilded. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort.
Praise him to lie in the face of God.
Yes,
straight up lies in the face of God. What an asshole.
Sir?
Oh my god.
You need a bandage.
Also, we're not on trial for high treason right now, so this should just be a win right now.
Well, we haven't proven that.
He's refusing to accept that he shot Windibank.
Oh, that's true.
He acknowledged that he was there, but he's like, I didn't do anything regarding anything.
We're not We're not quite there.
A gun happened, and my arm, a bullet. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, he's still fighting the good fight, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to go down without a fight until I can show hard evidence, I suppose.
None of that weak shit.
And nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact.
Which is?
Well, we know that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windibank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm.
Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. Ironically.
And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windibank was shot by a third gun. It could only have been fired by the third intruder.
Goodness.
That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could have possibly shot Mr. Windibank that night is you.
It's you!
But I'm not actually pointing at you. I'm pointing at,
Von Zeeks.
Don't-
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But wait.
Don't get
The egg
twisted.
isn't done.
You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility?
What do you mean? What thought? What possibility?
The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around my neck, the neck of your client.
What?
Are you suggesting?
Get your hands off her!
I saw it all.
Watch me as I strangle this orphan.
Yeah.
I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him.
You piece of
What a
shit.
twist.
You what?
Order, order, order!
See, this is the issue because if they both say like the other person did it, they've both done perjury before, so we can't believe either.
No.
Yeah, you can only
Shit.
believe the evidence. Well,
We kind of just. All we've really done is establish motive.
Yeah.
We haven't actually provided any evidence that clearly shows him
Yep.
shooting Mr. Windibank.
Yep.
It would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
Mr. Graydon.
Yes.
I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have that blood. You have incriminated yourself as the killer.
Oh, I understand fully.
Then I must ask you to give your former testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim.
Is this right when he's about to start his thing?
Yeah, when the
place
text begins, I think would be a good place to save.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until we have the whole screen.
Nothing would give me more pleasure.
There we go.
There we go.
There it is.
That's the one. The moment
There
of the
it
shooting.
is.
We're getting there, boys. We're getting there.
Oh my god.
And you'll have to tune in for the grand finale.
I can't fucking wait.
Next
I'm gonna
time.
live my week around this.
Well, hang on. Are you guys going to be available next weekend?
Ah, shit.
No,
no.
we are not
Yeah.
available
Yeah.
next weekend.
Yeah, I don't think Corbin is either,
Father's
actually.
Day.
I was
Nobody
about
is.
to say, if there's
Damn it.
day, it'll be kind of late in the day on a Wednesday or Tuesday if we try
Or
to do
Thursday.
Well, yeah, no,
It
I
would be
don't.
very
I can't
late.
either.
Corbin,
Very late.
I know Corbin probably wouldn't be able to do super late on Tuesday or Wednesday because of work.
Yeah,
Thursday?
we were talking
Thursday?
to be able to do it super
Not Thursday,
late on Thursday. Okay, but here's the thing. We're talking it's going to be 10:30 p.m. your guys' time.
Yeah, Caroline has a late
I have
Oh,
yeah,
10:30
I
p.m.
have late I have late business calls on Thursday.
I guess technically tomorrow, if anyone's free. We can do it
Tomorrow?
after.
I can make the sacrifice for tomorrow, because if we start at 10:30 on Thursday, it's gonna go till like 2 or 3 a.m. here.
It'll be like probably closer to 9 p.m. tomorrow.
9 p.m. tomorrow.
I suspect we have a solid 4 hours.
We would. I don't think we would be able to have Corbin at all, but
Yeah. I think this might just need to be we wait till the week after next.
Yep.
Okay.
Despite how close we are.
No
one wants to finish this more than me, but
it's so unfortunate.
I would like to finish with all our friends present.
Okay. Yes. I comprendo.
I do have the full day on Monday. Not tomorrow Monday, but the week after that, because I'm taking off because I collect up the kittens.
Oh my god, John.
So.
Very cool.
So I'm available all day on Monday.
Mild Edgingworth.
Oh no.
Mild Edgingworth.
We can figure out the timing after we end the stream.
Yes, none of this scheduling is of note to the rest of the internet.
2 weeks from now at the latest.
Yes.
Yes.